Thank you for your follow. Hello, Smitanka. How are you doing today as well? All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. All right, I'm playing Tracer right now. This is not too bad. Tracer is pretty decent at the moment. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? I'm gonna break down the timing like I did in my previous what reviews in my previous streams, but now I'm gonna use I think let's use Stalk3r's POV and just break down through the lens of the Stalk3r's POV. Because what I was thinking is I need to break down the timing, but I also love to watch POVs of multiple players as well. So why not to do both? Why not to just help you guys, and maybe it's gonna be more exciting this way as well, because I'm gonna watch Stalk3r's POV. I'm just gonna specifically focus on the timing, but if you guys gonna have any other questions, you can also answer those. I hope anything out of the stream is gonna be helpful for the long term, for anybody who is watching in the videos. Hello guys, or for anybody who is watching Mattify, hello guys as well. But we can start. Okay, so first of all, let me just use this video real quick for okay, here we go. Just got it. Okay, Stalk3r's POV is right there, and I have my notes, as usual. Here. Okay, so the first strategy, whenever we are fixing the timing, um, I'm planning to create special artwork like the overlays, panels, slogans, animations. Yeah, I see. It's okay. You can message me on Discord pretty much if you're interested. All right. I think I'm doing all of this. I'm not gonna interact with chat as much, but just between the sections of each strategy, I can do a little bit of more talking. All right. So first of all, what we need to pay attention to is timing with characters. It's just connected to your decisions. The first strategy specifically to synchronize with characters with strong defensive abilities and or mobility. So what does it mean exactly? First of all, whatever allows you to synchronize the pressure with whoever can absorb a lot of the resources without dying. Yeah, you want to synchronize pressure with them. The first basic idea is because you synchronizing the pressure with the tank, because tank can absorb a lot of defensive abilities, it's quite good to do most of the time. I think for the most skill levels. Now the second thing is a little bit harder to do, but it's applicable in any rank as well. You want to use mobility to your advantage, because mobility distracts people. Maybe something like Tracer, Ball, Winston, let's say they engage, they try to apply their own pressure, because they do, when they absorbing pressure, when they start receiving it, yeah, maybe Tracer starts receiving pressure, then they use their own cooldowns, right? They use the cooldowns to just dodge something. So you can maybe notice in your matches a lot of times, whenever you play, guys, this thing might happen where somebody dies just because they cannot synchronize the pressure. I will show you this real quick. I'm just gonna use random replay from what I have here. Okay, so I got... Maybe let's use Circuit Royale. This is a really long game. And I'm just gonna watch the first person. The first person who dies there is probably gonna die because of the bad timing. Unironically, I think for the most part, that is why people die. So let's take a look. We have this Circuit Royale. This is really long range map, a lot of potential for long range snipers to do something. Now, when the fight is gonna start, so the red team approaches to the main, and then the Widow takes an angle. I already see the issue. Do you see that, guys? So watch this. Why Widowmaker is dead? Well, even based on this random replay, because what we mentioned, because this Widowmaker is not synchronizing the pressure either with her tank, who can absorb a lot of potential pressure, or characters with a high mobility. On this team, maybe just utilizing the Kiriko a little bit more, maybe utilizing something like as a mobility tool, Kiriko and maybe Life Fever. I think because of the battle, you can just go up and down. Mauga here is just big defensive tank, basically. Yeah, let's watch this. Just watch all of this crosshair pointed towards the Widowmaker, and even the orb right there, right? So it's just because of desynchronization. So what would be the right choice for the Widowmaker? Well, just peek slightly later. Yeah, try to do something later. Now, we broke down this example, but I promise you to use Stalker's POV. So let's just use the same idea of synchronizing the pressure, but we gonna use Stalker's POV to help us. Right. Stalker helps me to fix the timing for you. Okay, so this is a pro play. I think it's just from OBS Surgeon channel. I found it pretty easy to use, just so I'm not finding the codes or anything. I'm just gonna use straight POV. Alright. So watch this composition as well. Really, a lot of mobility. Dive composition relies on synchronizing the pressure altogether. Well, it's I think one of the most important aspects. Yeah, usually expect somebody like Doomfist to start the engagement, just absorb some initial pressure, do this kind of soft engage, and then Stalker can follow up. So watch this. We don't want resources to be forced. Yeah, if we're talking about the timing, yeah, we just want to synchronize the pressure with somebody like Doomfist there, probably. So we just do this a little bit of initial poke. Once the setup is ready, once angles are ready. So watch this as well. Just going back a little here. The Lucio is on the angle A. Stalker is in the angle B. And the Doomfist on this third angle C. You kind of form this sort of triangle, engaged from 3 angles on one person. And with the dive composition, taking as many angles as possible is really important. And now see when he really commits. Do you hear this? Do you hear the Doomfist just use your shift? This is the sign for you to engage. This is how you synchronize the pressure with your tank. Synchronize it, right? Okay, let's keep going. Doomfist in, you in. Maybe you got your recall force, but it's fine. If you've done decent amount of pressure, this is good. I'm not gonna break down any other micro. So it's just we're gonna stay focused on the timing entirely. See, it's in and out though. How important it is. Yep. In and out constantly. Now we're just waiting in the spoke phase, Doomfist in, and then find more opportunities to go in when we have the recall one more time, trying to just deny the enemy's phase here. And even push slightly more, because they have a really big advantage now. They maybe can get Snowball going, just try to get one more person, try to disable them. Here to commit the recall is okay-ish, because they can eventually get it by the time when the real fight starts. The unfortunate thing is that Smooth just died on his Doomfist though, so might complicate things. Let me just make it a little bit lower sound for me and a little bit higher sound for you. A little bit unfortunate movement there. But you see, this point stands still. Okay, probably when the Doomfist is gonna be in one more time, when he's just gonna try to engage one more time, we will see Stalk3r will try to actively commit on his trade. So yeah, for example, now Doomfist is in, absorbs a lot of pressure, and there is gonna be a lot of commitment, kind of more aggressive play from Stalkers. Okay, so the point stands. And the second thing still, yeah, mobility allows to just absorb a lot of pressure because you're using something, because you have blinks, because maybe some characters like Winston, they have leap, or actually Doomfist in this composition, they also have their shift or punch. It allows to have more freedom to absorb this pressure, right? And that's why even Tracer can act like a tank in a way, slightly. If you know, well, it's not Sue the tanking just using the HP pool, right? It's just Sue using the blinks the entire time, yeah? So the rest of the team, the rest of the Stalkers team, they can do more. Just watch this. When you're trying to go in a little bit deeper, all of this attention on the Stalkers, why he can actually absorb it? Because he has 2 blinks. Well, maybe ideally want to have 3, but still, he absorbs the attention, he lives on the flank, and now, when the resources go to him, his team can live more. This is something you guys can pay attention to in your rank games. Yeah, whenever you have some characters with high mobility, Sombra, Tracer, maybe maybe even Echo to some extent. You can utilize it to your advantage. Once I used Kiriko's TP for range shift, and after that he died... Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you use... Okay, you're talking about the rank games, right? So see, even this, right? We actively flanking on this, I like to call it 180 angle, because the rest of the team is there, he is here, and then he's gonna turn this attention and kind of try to maybe absorb some of the pressure. Yeah, if somebody he's gonna try to punish him, he can just equal back. He can also blink. He didn't have as many blinks. He look to find a pools bomb on the enemy backline though, so he took that opportunity, sure. Okay, let's go to the second point. Second strategy. All of this together, synchronize with cooldowns and ultimates. 2 basic things, yeah. A, synchronize with cooldowns. B, synchronize with ultimates. Ults give you big advantage. You can attack almost whenever, and sometimes ignore your setup. Okay, so this is something I like to say here, okay. You see this? When Stalker is gonna get his pools bomb, they got the Lucio, and then they about to attack, yeah? They about to attack the rest of the core here. But because he has an ultimate, because Stalker has an ultimate, he maybe doesn't have to exactly start together with his Doomfist. He can just utilize his ultimate advantage and try to pressure. This is a good example of it, where you can just find a pools bomb, get a couple of kills, or maybe 1, or maybe force out cooldowns. This is enough to, and then it allows to win the fight and learn him. So synchronization around the ults, yeah? This is pretty big most of the time. In terms of cooldowns, cooldowns is just anything. You want to pay attention to anything what does big amount of pressure in the current moment in a fight. What helps is just looking at your composition. I'd really like to say, find a big burst cooldowns, really. For example, if we have if I have this team, what can do potentially big bursts? Well, Doomfist Punch, maybe it's Proper's Bomb, Echo's Bombs, together with the Beam, especially. It's a lot of burst. Okay, so you can write it down, Punch. So Bomb plus Beam as well. And Tracer Clip, actually, yeah. So it's just primary fire, Tracer. This can do quite a lot. And this is what you want to pressure around. You synchronize around the cooldowns. This is what I mean about the timing, yeah? When something does this, yeah, like when punch happens, when a bomb plus beam happens, so maybe this other people, yeah, like proper at his POV, if he's seen Stalkers, he's able to do something, he's gonna try to go in a little bit deeper. See this, for example, yeah, the bombs and the Doomfist. Right there. The Mac is gonna receive critical pressure from the proper. And then this is a good point to like start synchronizing. Oh, he actually used a lot of cooldowns as well, of course. There's something you gotta pay attention to. But I'm just looking at your teams, yeah, what helps you to synchronize the pressure overall. All of these figures all together. Okay, so far we had what? 1, paying attention to high mobile or tanky characters with a lot of defensive stuff. And synchronization around cooldowns and ultimates. Really helpful. This is just early poke pressure from the Stalkers. Because he can do that, just try to live without getting his recall force and get his blinks back by the time when the actual fight happens. So he can use his blinks to actively distract, get kills, this sort of stuff. Line pressure from the back. Trying to dual zest. You see this? You see this? Why he can engage more actively? Because he's synchronized with the beat. Beat allows to just sometimes even ignore the setup. Yeah, there's something I mentioned in before. Right there. Ultimates give you big advantage. You can attack almost whenever and ignore setup. It's just, I like to view it this way. You have ultimates and you can also have good position. Good setup on the map. But if you ever have to make a choice between your ultimates or position, then ultimates gonna do more, in my opinion. Ultimates can provide more active pressure. Just generally speaking. But if you have time to take better position on the map, if you can set up somewhere, usually do that first, and then go to use your ultimates. I think this is a good way of thinking. Now there's a beat, he can be more aggressive and also slightly utilizing this Doomfist to his advantage because he is gonna be engaging actively and absorb the pressure. See this? Yeah, was right there. Sorry, I have to timestamp, I think. Yeah, right there. Beat, Doomfist, 2 things at a time now. Pressure is either synchronized. Now, another most important layer as well is just synchronizing around when your angles are ready. And this is what I'd like to call search strategy. I'm not breaking down it too much in depth. Just see things, I think, can be enough to pay attention to. Paying attention to positioning of your teammates, we're trying to see if your team is set up and then look to push and then try to apply pressure. A team is set up. What is based on? The first thing is understanding the range. Second thing is understanding the angles. Okay. With this, to simplify, a range you usually want to lean towards either. Well, it's not letting me write down. Okay, now it's good. You either lean towards short range battles, so it's kind of, you do it this way. You lean towards the short range or long range. Imagine this is like a sliding scale. You can go from short to long. And whenever you look at your composition, you can identify what would be the best thing to do. Yeah, I'm hydrating. Thank you. Angles, you can go from stacked. My presentation is not working. You can go from stacked to split. Now just write it down. It's not letting me. It's just it's just not letting me. Let me see. What's gonna fix this? Yeah, it's not allowing me. It's not allowing me to write down anything. I don't know why. Okay. I think I just did something there. Yeah. I think I did write it down. Right. So here, you can go from stack to split. Again, imagine this is like a sliding scale. You either lean towards the stack playstyle or split playstyle where multiple people on your group take angles. Let's go back a little. If I'm talking about this strategy, I think just using this neutral fights examples is really nice. Whenever the fight just starting in the map. Okay, I think we didn't watch this map, so we're gonna move towards the second here. Yeah. So was right there. Yeah, something is off, actually. Maybe it's my connection or something is off. Yeah, it's just not letting me. Just not letting me do anything. What is going on? Wait a second. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay, I think I need 1 minute to fix it. It's just my keyboard for some reason. Got disconnected, that's why. Oh, it's getting disconnected. Right. Just 1 more minute. Are you going to buy a new keyboard? Maybe. Yeah, now you can. now, now you can. Let's go. Alright. So for some reason the video jumped. I'm okay. Yeah, I have to find I have to find the POV again. 1 second.
Tracking Tetris.
Yeah. It's just for some reason went on the Spireless video. Okay, I got it. Let's go. Finally got it. Now I can, yeah. Okay, so I was talking about the search strategy there. When your team is set up, once you have the range and angles of the range, is just, are you leaning towards the short sidelines or the long sidelines? And angles, are you leaning towards the stacked or split playstyle? Stacked is just most of your group, you guys moving together, and split, that's where multiple groups take angles on the map. Just pretty common problem. People might not understand if the team is set up or not. Yeah, they might not understand. Are they ready to push or not? Yeah, as an example, even that game which we watched right there, the Widowmaker. Maybe she can expect somebody on the main to be ready and set up first before applying pressure. Yeah, but because she's not, she dies first. And it's same in the pro play as well, but of course there's much more nuanced. It's much more nuanced. Let's see this map. Yeah, just the start of it. Watch neutral fight, how both teams are looking to set up and take angles on the map. There's just a little bit of poking going on, obviously, but all of this. Yeah, let's just wait for the moment when Striker is gonna look around. Yeah, like this, okay? This is the perfect, perfect showing. Stalker is there. Another group with a Chio, Lucio, and Fielder is at this angle B, and Smurf is at the angle C. So once those angles are ready, Stalker is looking to push in. Stalker is looking to take in pressure. This is what he can do in your rank games as well. Just try to synchronize with your team setup. Understand how do you take angles. If you break down this composition likes to play short range and likes to take multiple angles of attack. Because of the dive, you really like to surround people. Most of the time, you want to take map control. If you're playing this kind of dive mirror, well, it's a dive mirror here, exact mirror, you want to fight for your advantageous angles. Tracer is at position A, at kind of this one lane, and the other group at the position B, taking this middle lane, and Smooth with this position C in the building. Once those angles are ready, you can start to push. You can start to apply pressure. Now watch this. Yeah. Everybody's making sure the pressure is synchronized. The Lucio can move between the angles, support every possible group because of his speed boost. What if my Doom jumps into 5 people and dies? You still can use that. It's just at the pro player, obviously, they're trying to synchronize the pressure all together, but that's why looking at this kind of more basic stuff, trying to synchronize with anybody who has more defensive abilities is important. Synchronize with your tank is one of the basics I go over in my sessions all the time. He goes in, use this to your advantage. Okay, I think we'll watch this part here, so we move towards this timestamp. Really unfortunate move, but they're gonna retake. Okay. Remember, 3 strategies. 1. Let's synchronize around the tank, around the cooldowns and ultimates. That was the one, I believe. No, I'm wrong. The first strategy was just synchronizing around the tank and mobility. The second one, synchronize around cooldowns and ultimates. And third one, utilize positioning. Now I'm just gonna use all those layers randomly, depending on situation. And break those down a little bit more. Okay, so now, what layer he is utilizing? Well, most likely he's just thinking about the positioning initial setup, yeah? Everybody, the angles, see how they kind of split, yeah? There's angle A, there's angle B, and Stalker's at the angle C. More flanky angle. Once angles are already all together, they can try to attack. Rush into Doom. See this. Once angles are ready, they start their pressure. What they synchronize around as well, yeah? His team, Stalk3r's team actually, they're using this to their advantage because Stalk is using the blinks. Well, maybe not the most ideal, right? Because he's not dodging big stuff, but if there's something big, maybe like bombs, maybe it's a even punch from the Doomfist, maybe Doomfist shift. This is something you can dodge with your blinks, and then his team should be utilizing it to their advantage. Just synchronize the pressure all together. Doomfist goes in. Okay, now Stalkers can move in a little bit more, utilize this Doomfist because he's absorbing a lot of pressure. Synchronize the pressure. Enemy uses ultimates, so it pushes them back. See how it's important even for the enemy team as well to synchronize the pressure around something like ultimates. When the Kiriko's is being used, all of this cooldown usage, because you're on the same page, you're using your cooldown so you can get them back quicker. Yeah, it's not just let's use cooldowns randomly, obviously, but you using cooldowns at the right time in the right place and getting value. You're forcing out something. Now they have to reset, and again, we probably back to angle control. Just set up, get your angles ready, and then synchronize the pressure. Oh, this is unfortunate from Stalkers, I think. Got his vehicle forced. Yeah, now see, it's really difficult to synchronize the pressure because the angle's not ready together. Now, see how he's getting punished for it. He's not getting the beat. He's also really away from the rest of his team, so it's hard for them to support him. But it's all because this step where we're trying to set up is maybe not implemented properly. Yeah, you probably... Here, Stalker has been out in the open a little bit too much. In the poke phase, you want to be leaning towards the cover as much as possible. If you're just waiting for your angles to get in, waiting for your Doomfist to get in, for example. Now they're at the phase where they just setting up again, but Stalkers have to touch as well. So he does, and he's getting out though. It's really important because angles are not ready yet, yeah? He's gotta synchronize with his Doomfist, probably, and the other angles too. It's a little bit unfortunate, right? He got his vehicle force, but there's nothing else he could have done. His team is in. He's going in as well. You hear the Kitsune now trying to synchronize around the ultimate again. You hear something. If someone ults in your ranked games, probably good time to try to do something. Really use the sounds, use the visuals, and try to apply more pressure. Just synchronization around the ultimates and angles and his tank all together. All the strategies right there are represented. I'm not gonna use any additional layers or break down anything else, to be honest. I just want to stay focused on those two strategies only. If you guys have any questions though, you can ask those. By the way, all of this is gonna be used in my next videos, I think, and maybe I'm also gonna use this in my probably I'm gonna use this in my coaching sessions examples, because whenever I do sessions, I'm thinking about finding any good timestamp which represent the concept. So now if I do this on stream, I think it makes my job even easier. I can just remember the timestamps, remember the points I've been talking about, and just timestamp it in the Google Doc. It's gonna be really useful in the coaching sessions this way. This is Widowmaker. Oh, okay. No, they're probably gonna run what? Genji Tracer? Proper, just maybe the Widow for the first shot. Yeah, that's the Widow for the first shot, but let's see. Okay, so it's a... Okay, so we're back to usual. Tracer, Echo, D.Va, Kiri, and Lucio. Yeah, same fundamentals applicable. You can synchronize the pressure, again, around the characters with a high mobility, big defensive, so D.Va is a big thing. Again, watching out for ultimates, but before all of that, looking to take better map control. So all this group's gonna be ready together. Usually it's 3 groups, the most ideal. Lucio is moving between 3 to support every possible group. Kiriko can also do quite a little bit of the same job, but he's just moving from one aggressive angle to another, I think. Probably stacking either with the Tracer or Echo, and then later going back to the core around the D.Va and supporting her. His Stalker's got his vehicle forced early, so now it's gonna be tough for him to get the map control. So he's gonna be leaning towards the defense. He can't flank around that much anymore. Once the recall is back, once his team is in, especially the D.Va, he's trying to rotate. Yeah, even just for rotation, using the timing to do so is really important. In ranked games, of course, you see most of the people, especially if you at lower SR, yeah, the lower SR is the faster people try to engage in, and they die early. Let's put it this way, yeah. They just try to jump in on the enemy right away. Whenever you're going towards the high elo, people leading towards taking control around the map first, controlling important angles, and then later try to do something. Yeah, this is a pro play, so you see all this small rotations, small kind of utilizations of the rooms around the point and everything is really important. Okay, D.Va is in, so she's absorbing the pressure. This is something Stalkers wants to use. Now, it's a little bit desynchronized because the D.Va is in, but he's not ready. He has to burn extra blinks, so it might be on his team's part. It's just maybe the core can help him with that, or he could be there earlier. Could he be doing that? Well, maybe, yeah. Instead of using this time to poke the Doomfist, maybe just rotating first, I think. Why not? But now, because it's desynchronized, it's probably gonna get Stalker to use a lot of blinks, and maybe his recall is gonna be forced as well, yeah? It shows the importance, highlights the performance of timing your pressure around the important stuff. Cooldowns, ultimates, tanks, all together, yeah? Now he's forced to go out. He can't control this flank anymore. See all of this. Really synchronize pressure one more time, yeah? D.Va absorbs the pressure, and then enemy also, they use their big cooldowns. There's a D.Va flight. She's going in actively. And then the Tracer is in as well. Now, once we cleared all of this, we did synchronize the pressure on the cooldowns, around the tank. You can look to take better map control on the map. But the Tracer is just taking this flank control. Using the search strategy, yeah? Just setting up good positions around the map. Waiting for the angles to be ready. And then going in. So this is a little bit of early pressure in this phase because you can try to take more. You can try to push up a little bit more because the rest of the group on runaway, or they got bad spawn. Yeah, some of them. They're gonna be back in the fight soon. So I think at this point, Team Falcons, they have to set up better map control. They have to be careful. Looking for the pulse bomb. I don't think this is the most ideal. I think you have to get important positions first before doing all of this. Yeah, it's kind of getting the angles and then starts the pressure, as I mentioned. You're using it in this positional perspective, but there's a big thing. If you know you have some some big advantage, yeah, whatever gives you big advantage, you can utilize it and ignore the map control. As I mentioned, ultimates can give you big advantage sometimes. Maybe you got a kill or two. This also allows you to push really hard. Okay, I just think they had the time to maybe set up Team Falcons, like Stalk3r. They had the time to maybe set up those angles first. But here there's a Kitsune, so they're using that to the advantage. Actually pushing, sure. And then reset, yeah? Just reset, try to get better map control again. Here, this position is really good. You can flank around, maybe deny the enemy Tracer, setting up the angles. Now the enemy is trying to synchronize the pressure on the Kiri ult as well, using their cooldowns going in. By the way, here, the importance of just looking after big burst around the D.Va as well. Rockets can do quite a lot. Whenever D.Va's in, she's using her rockets. Because of the big burst, this is something you can utilize. As anybody. Stalk3r in specific, yeah? Because of the Tracer. Just high mobile character. The Doomfist is sneaking around. The enemy Doomfist mag. So see, this is kind of the example of when Kiriko does this, copy, for example, yeah, again, you see this big advantage, you can try to push in a little bit more, try to take space. Of course, deny important angles like the Tracers. Just get her out, but you trying to synchronize the pressure, most importantly, around all of this. Once Proper is out of this form, he's not in Doomfist form anymore. You can probably pull back unless you forced out something important from the enemy team. That's what he's doing, yeah? Synchronizing the pressure. And then he's out. Well, Proper got a little bit out of position there, I think. A lot of stuff's happening on the screen. But here comes the Diva Bomb. Again, really good tool to take space and push the enemy angles in unfavorable positions. Or it's easy for the Tracer to just push those and punish. Echo is hiding around the payload. This guy's hiding around the corner. He can easily find somebody isolated and push those. But why? Because synchronization. Again, importance of synchronization around all of this. You can anticipate, press tab, check. What do we have, guys? Yeah, because we have the Diva Bomb. I try to set up in a way which allows me to do more and just contribute on that Diva Bomb. Yep. How Diva Bomb landed though? I don't think. Well, I think the intention was to kind of go around the corner, maybe do the slide bomb of the corner. Not sure, I can see. But, you know, if that would be the case, actually would be really nice. Yeah, from what I see from the Prophet POV, it seems that Hanbin tried to do the slide bomb, but for some reason got stuck in a bug. Kitsune, synchronizing the pressure on the Kitsune. But don't forget, there's so much more stuff to pay attention to. It's not only about the timing, of course. There's also stuff like ability usage, understanding of what angles you want to take and control. How do you deny enemy angles as well? Yeah, all of this stuff. But it's just, I think, more important to focus on one scene at a time whenever you work on your own gameplay as well. So even in these sessions, I'm just trying to kind of focus on one specific scene, yeah? Trying to focus on the timing there. Okay, so at this point, you need to take bottom-up control. Everybody, they need to take the angles. Once the angles are gonna be ready, they can look to push a little bit more. I, in general, don't like the Tracer to be in front line. Of course, yeah, we don't like Stalkers to be there most of the time, but if it's for purpose of pushing the cart a little bit while the rest of his team can take more angle control, better angle control, I think he can do that, yeah? And then synchronize the pressure all together. Angle A is here, Stalker is here. Once the pressure is ready, yeah, that's our strategy. Remember, around the positioning, angles are ready, we can look to push. We can look to go in and see if we can commit the recall, kind of try to bait out important stuff and trade recall for that. So Diva goes in, he goes in as well, synchronization around the Diva, and after, he goes to recall. But a lot of stuff got forced, so this is really nice. He's playing around the big synchronization, just around the... he's around his tank, because he went in, as an example. Also, his angle's been ready, so he's engaging. Looking for opportunity to get the bomb, it's fine. Now just clearing all of the space. Clearing everybody from the point. Let's watch the next fight here. Again, the search strategy probably gonna be in here, trying to set up angles, and then seeing if the angles are ready. Once those are ready, you can look to push. What is that against? Especially propers, yeah. For about the micros, we expect proper to be probably using this high gun here. Let's call it this position A. Probably Kiriko is gonna get there as well. Stalk3r can maybe potentially use this room to the left. Let's call it angle B. And Diva can push the cart at angle C. I expect something like that. Or it can be other way around. Maybe. Tracer can push the card, and Diva can stay on the angle A or B. Let's see what they do. Okay, so this is a little bit different, yeah, because the enemy team, they also try to take their own map control. They're trying to get their own angles. Stalk is trying to deny the enemy tracer. Really important. So this angles here so far, angle A in the bottom. I think the rest of his core is on top. Once those are ready, you can look to go in and actively commit his recall. It's not just blind going in and use your recall for nothing, yeah? Obviously, we're trying to force out something important. Doomfist Punch, maybe Echo's Bomb, maybe even ultimates to some extent. Force out Suzu. Now, there's a beat. Seems like a little bit low downtime, right? Maybe he can be going, committing a little bit more in this fight. Maybe he's just probably getting better map control, trying to fight for important angles first, and then using his recall to just, yeah, to just try to survive because he's getting pushed, yeah, because the resource is gonna be sent to him. Yeah, I really like this position in general, actually. If he can try to leverage this flank, enemy will try to deny it. If he has his recall to get him back while the resources are wasted on him, I think can be beneficial. It's always important to look for more proactivity, yeah? You're trying to synchronize around your ultimates, for example, yeah? You don't have to exactly wait for your team to use something, to be attacking. You can just wait for wait for the moment when you can do big pressure by yourself. Like in this case, he can use his own bomb on somebody there, on the enemy team, and force out something important. Most tracers, most of the time, you just use the bomb right away, whenever it's possible. Of course, the most ideal is try to make sure your team can capitalize of it, yeah? Like the Diva, maybe it's the Proper. In this case, he has his copy as well, potentially. Something like Suzu can maybe stop the aggression, or maybe their beat can stop the aggression. So if he's forcing it out, it's really nice. Okay, let's see the next fight. Again, same thing. Positional strategy, making sure angles are ready, synchronizing around the big stuff, around the big cooldowns, or looking at if your tank is applying pressure. Yeah, he needs to go on the angle on the left, I think. Yeah, little bit greedy, I think it would be better to go over here to the left first, and then try to apply pressure. So he has most of his blings, and angles are gonna be slightly more ready as well. Here, the angle where the Diva is, you're gonna push up a little bit more, get ready, and then you can do this kind of stuff here. He's gonna get his equal force a little bit earlier, maybe. They can re-engage with the beat, of course. This is really nice. Because you know what abilities you have, what ultimates you have. Just makes it easy for you to understand. Can you commit a little bit more? Can you just wait? With the dive most of the time, with any mobile characters, you usually trying to actively burn actively burn your cooldowns. Well, not on purpose, but just because you're trying to force out something from the enemy team. And once your cooldowns are used, using the defensive, like Lucio's beat or maybe Kiriko's ultimate to just stabilize and push one more time is really, really good. So here, synchronizing the pressure around the ultimates, going in because Kitsune beat, but once it wears off, he has to be more careful. Especially after the recall, he has to stabilize, wait, make sure he's recharging his resources. He can't commit as much. See how he's leaning towards the defensive play, going towards the corners. Be really careful. Obviously, they have to be getting a lot of job done, kills done, because Runaway, they have a spawn advantage. So you don't want to fight here for a really long time, because if Runaway stalls long enough, if it's gonna be consistent 5v4 or something like that, yeah, like in this case, Hanbin died, it's gonna be really difficult for them to win this point. So he has to also leverage his abilities to some extent. His recall is one of the biggest. Okay, so Diva is back. Now they can look to apply more active pressure, but there's no recall. Huge Diva bomb. Nice. Okay, so I think for the most part, that's it about timing. I think that's it about for today, because I just wanted to do quick breakdown, upload all of this YouTube, Twitch, if you guys like it, just for the Lawrence, anybody, the teams. I really appreciate you guys using all of these resources. I'm really glad to be helpful. Now, TLDR, we have 3 strategies so far we discussed. First, well, 2 first strategies just based on decisions, making sure we're synchronizing with big defensive abilities around your tank. When your tank goes in, it's usually the most useful. Second, using mobility to your advantage. If anybody has mobility on your team, you can utilize it. Mobility, good example, something like Tracer, Ball, Winston, they're going in, they burn cooldowns here. In this case, we saw Stalk3r, he has been actively, a lot of times, maybe even initiating at some points, yeah, initiating the fight, because he knows he can burn something out of the enemy team, yeah, burn the punch, maybe burn extra resource, anything, yeah, it might be even Lucio's boob, something like that. And it's always good using mobility to just to your advantage. Okay, so synchronize around those characters who have mobility. Second strategy is just synchronizing around the big stuff, cooldowns, synchronizing with around the cooldowns, especially around big burst. Okay, burst especially. And when you're synchronizing with ultimates, anything big, what does a lot of, and actually, I think synchronizing with any ultimate is good. It's just you want to get better at it by actively tracking, yeah, checking on your screen. Press tab, see what you guys have. You have ultimates for supports, you have ultimates for your DPS maybe. Anticipate what they're gonna do with those ultimates and position accordingly. Position so you're gonna be able to do something on the map. Okay, synchronization with ultimates, and third strategy is just more complicated version of this first strategy, I think, where you pressure on the tank. Yep, here is just waiting for your angles to be ready. It requires better understanding of the team compositions, how your composition wins versus the enemy. But I think good starter is always looking at 2 things. What range you guys are fighting, leaning towards, generally speaking, and what angles you like to take. Are you gonna be more stack team or split, taking angles. Like in this case, in Stalk3r's POV, they're running dive team, or especially on this first map, running Doomfist. A good example, yeah, where they have to take a lot of angles, multiple angles of attack before doing something. This is something you keep in mind. And range is the short. They close the gap. You have to pay attention to that. If it's a different team, maybe something like running Ryan, May, Reaper, Lucio, Moira all together, then in this situation, this is more stacked team. You have to be closer to each other because the resources like Moira's healing, Lucio's speed boost all together, if you're trying to benefit out of it, you should be closer to each other. Obviously, you take angles as well. Doesn't mean that you guys all play in one place, but it's just important to understand what playstyle we're leaning towards. All right, I think that's it for today. Let's see the comments. I would listen to their communication in this game. Yeah, me too. Big Diva Bomb. Yeah, as well. That was for sure. All right. Bye bye, everyone. And I will see you next Thursday.